presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the 2023 general election. He will join us in the course of the show. But before we get into that one-on-one with him, let's look at recent event, that happened in Edo State yesterday, where the ADC secretariat was attacked by hoodlums, and in the process, damage was caused to the event. It was when they welcomed the governor candidate of the Labour Party in Edo State in the last governorship election, talking about former NBA president Olumide Agbata. And after that incident, the hoodlums went to the home of former governor of Edo State, John Oyegu, and caused mayhem. And in all of that, Peter Obi was there. You had former governor of Edo State, Professor Sumbo was there, Olumide Agbata himself was there, and all of that. So we were in on that in the meantime. And we've been joined from our Benin studio by Dr. Patrick Akere Bojele. Dr. Bojele is the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Edo State. Good evening to you, Dr. Patrick, and thanks for joining us again. Hello, Dr. Bojele, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Patrick, good evening, and good to have you again on the show. All right, and we have also been joined by Mr. Zachary Idris. Mr. Zachary Idris is a member of the Obedient Movement. He is also from Edo State, and he is going to help us make sense of what happened in Edo yesterday. Patrick, good to have you again. You joined us in the morning show during the newspaper review, and you provided some context to what happened in Edo State yesterday. I'd like for you to go through all of that again, so that people who missed out on that opportunity in the morning, to hear from you. And I mean, the governor's, how can I put it now? The governor's mouthpiece, tell us, bring us up to the minute of what happened yesterday, so that people who were not part of the morning show can hear you directly from you. Hello, Dr. Bojele, can you hear me? Okay. Zachary, okay, I understand that we have lost connection with Dr. Patrick Bojele, the Chief Press Secretary to Monday Ubolo, the Governor of Edo State. But in the meantime, we have Zachary Idris. He's a member of the Obedient Movement. He's also from Edo State, and he has joined us in the virtually. So, Mr. Idris, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you so much. An absolute delight to always share this platform with you. And thank you for inviting me. Okay,
good to have you. I appreciate your presence. Now, let's run into it. You are well aware, you have followed the conversation since yesterday, about what happened. It was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening that the news filled out that Peter Obi had been attacked, and they framed it around the idea of an assassination attempt, He had gone to Edo State to receive Olumide Agbata, governor candidate of the Labour Party, in the 2025-2024 Edo Goba elections, and all of that happened. When they went to the venue of the ADC secretariat, they missed out that the people had left there, because according to Shedrack Uduba, who was one of the compares of the occasion, they were with Patrick Ojekere. They got information that some hoodlums were assembling to come and attack them. So they asked them to hurry up, and they hurriedly rounded off the event and went to the residence of John Odigie Oyegun. So it was after they left that the hoodlums, according to him, came to the ADC secretariat and caused mayhem. Not satisfied, they went to John Odigie Oyegun's house, and I mean, I can put out the video of what happened. Vehicle windscreens were shattered. They get to the man, John Odigie Oyegun's gate, We saw bullet holes in his gate and all of that. And so Edo State government has been saying, well, we have nothing to do with it. But a lot of people are pointing fingers at the governor, who, by the way, last year told Peter Obi not to come to Edo State without clearance from him. Can you help us make sense of all of this? What do you understand that is going on?
That's a great question. I thank you again for inviting me. I did not only follow the news, I was live. I participated in the event,
Good, good,
and
good.
I can tell you for a fact, blow by blow, beat by beat, what happened yesterday. I joined the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Peter Gregory B, and my boss. I need to mention that I was chairman media team for the Labour Party in the last governorship election that had Olumide Akpata as candidate. So I had joined those two persons that are my political leaders to receive one of them into the ADC who had been in the Labour Party prior. At the event at the party secretariat, it needs to be mentioned that even before yesterday, there had been an instance where thugs had attacked the party secretariat and vandalized properties. This was just a couple of weeks ago. Because people were not hurt and then it was not of the kind of violence that we experienced yesterday, we didn't bother to talk about it or escalate it further. We had that event, and in the course of that event, we were informed that people were mobilizing to attack the secretariat. And we had to quickly wrap up that event and relocated to the home
Idris, Zachary, I'm sorry to butt in at this moment, but I would like for you to tell us, you were informed. Who brought the information to you?
Well, you must understand that security agents are attached to all VIPs,
okay,
especially men of the DSS. And when they get information, they pass it on. I was not personally told, but the big men there, the VIPs there, were informed, and they in turn informed those of us who are of lower cadre in the ladder of leadership within that structure that we had to leave. But it did come to pass that upon leaving that venue, men believed to be thugs associated with government, surrogates of this government, the Pueblo-led administration, attacked the party secretariat, not only vandalizing property, but actually causing grievous bodily injury to party faithfuls and even well-wishers, and even passerby who were just doing their business. Ordinary, innocent those citizens had their vehicles vandalized and properties destroyed. The videos are there for you to see. But that was the leg one of the attack. While we were at the home of the former governor of Edo State, John Odigi Oyegun, information came again that the people who had attacked the secretariat were now mobilizing to come attack the house. We took it with a pinch of salt because, of course, there were security men who were attached to the person that had come. There were men, especially men of the DSS. I cannot confirm the presence of any policeman, but especially men of the DSS who were attached to the VIPs that had come. Keep in mind that in the home of Chief John Odigi Oyegun, we had two former governors. As a matter of fact, three former governors. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Gregory B, who is the principal. The former governor of Edo State, Chief John Odigi Oyegun. Another former governor of Edo State, Professor Osareme Osumbo. We had a former senator representing Edo South, Senator Ege Uzamere. We had former commissioners, former special advisors, former this, former that. So it was packed. It was a home that was packed. Of course, I was there live. I was in there. There were other pro-democracy political activists like Miss Precious, popularly called Mama P, and a number of other persons were in that venue. To our shock, it didn't quite get up to 15 minutes before we had a staccato of automatic weapons being fired at close proximity to the gates of the home of our leader, Chief John Odigi Oyegun. It got so intense, and it took the intervention. I can tell you for a fact, I did everything within my power to avoid talking about this incident because I had to deal with the trauma since yesterday. I have never quite seen anything like it, except in the movies. There were heavy shooting in front of the house of John Oyegun. It took the intervention of the security agents inside the compound attached to the VIPs who had come to scare them off. When there was an exchange of fire, I can confirm to you that there was I'm sure the DSS report and in fact the police report will also carry some of these things that I have stated. There was an exchange of fire, and it took maybe about 5-10 minutes before the assailants were forced to flee. Upon coming out, we discovered that all the vehicles that were parked in front of the leader's house, Chief John Odidi, were vandalized. Some were shot at, bullet holes were in the gates. A lot of properties were destroyed. To the glory of God, at the home of Chief John Odidi, I can confirm to you that there was no casualty recorded, but at the party secretariat, information had come that at least 2 persons were admitted in the hospital. This is the disgrace that happened in Edo State yesterday. And honestly, I feel very pained talking about it, because beyond whoever is governor of Edo State, I am a patriotic Edo citizen and a patriotic Nigerian. I would not want to see anything that paints my state in bad light. But we have very unintelligent people surrounding the government of the day who think that what they cannot achieve by persuasion, they can achieve with violence. And they are hell-bent on deploying it.
Okay.
They are hell-bent on twisting people and making sure that they get what they want by force.
Okay, all right, Zachary, I would like to ask you, because we travel this familiar terrain all the time. At the ADC Secretariat, you people got information that hoodlums were mobilizing to come attack that event. You didn't escalate it.
I was not at the
level. No. When I say you, I don't mean you as an individual.
No, it's important that we situate this.
No, exactly the point.
Excuse me, so that we don't miss it. Look,
No, Zachary. Let me land on my question. It's a familiar terrain that we pass through all the time. You got information that hoodlums were mobilizing, to attack that event. It was not escalated, and hurriedly you rounded off that event. Again, you got to the residence of Odigi Oyegun, according to you. You got another information that they had caused mayhem at the ADC Secretariat and were mobilizing again to come do another attack. It was not escalated. Why not?
Can I answer your question now?
Okay,
so that is not a very good question, but I'll answer it anyway.
No. It's a question, because why will you get information? Why will you get information that people are coming to attack you? First of all, you ran away. The second time you ran away, you didn't bother to escalate it. Meanwhile, you had the security people that informed you. Excuse me.
Can I answer the question?
No, let me finish. You raised another angle to it. You had security people who apparently or allegedly gave you that information. They didn't escalate it. The big men there didn't escalate it, and they allowed the first one to happen and allowed the second one to happen. Can you provide context to that?
I think that is deliberate misinformation, and I need to.
No, but that is what you said. I got that information.
That is not what I said. You are misrepresenting.
Okay, go on.
So
what did you say?
Let me tell you what I am saying and what I said.
Okay.
What I am saying is that the information came, the security attached to the VIPs were informed, and I am sure that they would have done what they needed to do informing. I am not a security man. I am not in security circles.
Okay.
And of course, whatever security decision is made for the security of the VIPs is not something I ought to be privy to.
Okay.
But I can tell you what I am privy to.
Okay, so apparently,
at least 2 incidences yesterday.
Apparently.
Can I anchor my point? That there were at least 2 incidences yesterday, and the incidences were targeted at members of the ADC, and they took it as a notch higher than just mere...
Exactly. You have made that point before. Because we need to move on. You have made that point before. Apparently, you have come back to my position that I wasn't talking about you as an individual, because you are not privy to the decisions they might have made. But on the whole, the people, the security agencies, the hierarchy of the ADC involved in that event didn't escalate the first one, and apparently the second one happened.
Excuse me, you cannot make that statement as a statement of fact. They may have. I am telling you that I am not privy to it because it is above my pay grade.
Okay, so that still answers my question. That still answers my question, because if they had escalated it, there was no response at that point. And that was why, according to you, sorry, Idris, I'm not into an argument with you here, please. Okay. This is not a debate. I'm just asking you questions. Now, let's bring in the press secretary to the governor of Edo State, Dr. Patrick Ebojele. We've been able to reconnect with him, and let's allow him to give context to what happened. He was here in the morning, so I want us to expand this conversation. Good to have you, Dr. Ebojele, once again on this show.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening. Now, in all that happened in Edo State yesterday, Fingers are pointing at the APC. Fingers are pointing at the governor. Because at some point, the governor had warned Peter Obi not to come to Edo State. And the incident of yesterday happened. You had said something about it. But I want you to expand it because we have time now on the show. Tell us what happened yesterday and how you think that, people shouldn't be calling the governor and APC as being responsible and should take responsibility for what happened yesterday to members of the ADC. That wasn't the first time. About 3-4 weeks ago, I had Chris Ojekiro here, and in the APC headquarters in Edo State, hoodlums suspected to be APC members had gone, to pull down, billboards in the secretariat and all of that. They let that one slide, and this one happened again yesterday. Can you help us make sense of all of that?
Well, I lost conversation due to the network problems here, but good we are connecting back. But at the point I came online, the gentleman who was speaking to me contradicted himself severally because they are just trying to push a narration of what didn't exist in their mind. Fine. First and foremost, I want to say that it is clear that the issue that occurred yesterday in Benin City didn't just start that yesterday. It's like a build-up to an escalated problem or tension within the ADC. And it's good you also mentioned that a few weeks ago or thereabout, they said that secretariat was also attacked by who they claim to be APC talks. I don't know if it is written on the forehead of anybody that this is APC talk and this is ADC talk and this is whatever talk. Now, you and I know that the ADC in Edo State is in disarray. It's a complete disarray. It's a complete party that cannot hold the center, even before its formation. Why am I saying that? Because it is evident, even from the body language of their leaders. On Monday, the state governor and government officials were at Garrick Memorial Secondary School, where presentation was made to local government chairmen across the 18 local governments. What was that big event? It was the handover of 54 earth-moving machines, brand new, purchased by the state government to support local government administration. 54 payloaders, graders, and tipper. They are there, they are verifiable, and this other, most Edo people knew that was going to happen because it had even been in the news advert. And that was the business of Edo State government on Monday. While we were there, after the event was over, we had all been celebrating. Edo State was, Edo residents were happy that for the first time, we are seeing a government that is commission. For the first time, you are seeing a governor.
No, sorry, Patrick. I would like for you to take
coming.
us.
We need to.
I would like for you to. I'm not asking you about what the Edo State governor has done. I would like for you to. I would like for us to talk about the events of yesterday. Now, the governor had gone to commission something, and what happened after that?
I now need to tell you that. Haven't gone through. This was the activities of us that very day. So when we left, we had gotten back to our various offices. When news started flying around that there was crisis at the residence of Chief Adebayo, a former governor of the state, who also lives in the GRA a few drives from the government house. And that this was something that was already trending. Newspaper and TV station already carried the name. That he was locked out. In fact, he said it, that he was locked out. Who is Chief John Odige Oyegun to lock him out of this meeting. They are the founders. So, and the place was filled with furious party supporters who are paid allegiance to the faction of Senator Roland Owe, the former chief whip of the Senate. That happened within the party, the ADC. And for crying out loud, those state governor was not at that meeting. Neither any officers or officials or organs of those state government present at that secretariat or even Oyegun's house. Now, the following day, what happened was this report of an attack. Now you are pointing accusing fingers at the state government and the state governor and the party, the Eroli party, APC, that they orchestrated this attack. And I'm beginning to ask, why? At what point did this involvement come? Because you have a problem within your party, and you have decided to escalate it beyond your own control for something that we call self-inflictment. You have caused yourself body harm because you are not able to draw such.
Okay, I understand you. We'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. But when you raise the issue of the attack yesterday being precipitated by the internal wranglings in the ADC, a lot of people faulted you. Why? Because the very characters, the gladiators, were together when this incident happened. So, excuse me, let me land on my question. So, what would be the explanation, of the hoodlums if in the course, in the crossfires, they killed one of their own members? Do you think that they will go to that extent to say, okay, let us go and destroy this ADC, And by the way, why people are pointing and accusing fingers at the governor is because the governor had at several times made incendiary statements, inflammatory statements regarding how he is going to rout out opposition in Edo State. And we are still linking it to even the APC chairman. Excuse me, Patrick. Even the ADC chairman, Jared Tenebe, has made more like inflammatory statements, saying that they are not going to tolerate any of that in the state. So, in the midst of all of this, will it be out of place for people to say, well, this might likely have been caused by either the governor or his henchmen?
Let us, like I mentioned earlier this morning, when I said people are opinionated about certain workings in Edo State or the happenings in Edo State, people just sit somewhere and all they want to hear is this wrong narrative that is being pushed by a section of Edo persons. Now, it is not the first time that you'll be having VIPs in Edo State. It is also not going to be the last time you have VIPs in Edo State. And when you are quoting that the governor said specifically to Peter Obi, I'm going to stop you from coming to Edo State. Let us look at the intention behind such comments. Peter Obi, with due respect, is not just an individual, a common citizen in Nigeria. No, we must give it to him. He's a former governor, a presidential aspirant, and a personality in Nigeria. So he's not somebody that is, in as much as he tries to be humble, but the state demands that such persons are catered for and protected wherever they are. It is a standard practice all over the world. So now we are pointing accusing fingers at the governor only because he mentioned that comment. Yes, he mentioned that comment, and I'm seeing it on the screen. He mentioned that comment. Let's ask ourselves, if anything happened to Peter Obi, what would have happened? So he's not telling the people that Peter Obi must write letter to him as the sitting governor. Come, I am coming to Edo. Inform the relevant security agencies to cater for you so that we now know that, somebody is coming. It's so you don't breach protocol.
Okay, all right, Patrick. When you raised this issue in the morning, on the morning show, we asked you, how come it's only in Edo State that P2B goes to and he needs to get clearance? P2B comes to Lagos, he goes to Abuja, he goes to Kano State, he goes to all parts of the country. Does he get permission from those governors? So why Edo State? That is the question.
Yes, that's the question. And I remember replying to say, why? Why is it only Edo when he comes to Edo that he have?
That means that there is something wrong with Edo State.
That is then there's nothing wrong in Edo State.
No, there is something because it is not P2B that imports the violence in Edo State.
Edo State has played roles to several political actors.
Okay.
Several. And P2B can.
We go back to that issue. Patrick, I would like for us to play. I would like for us to play that video where the governor didn't just say, that you need clearance. The governor was very emphatic. The governor said, look at someone that says he doesn't give shishi and he's coming to Edo State to give 15 million naira. Can you help us make sense of that? Why all of that? Why did the governor have to go in that direction?
That event itself that took place how many months ago, I don't think I can be referring to that setting. What we are talking about?
Okay, but it's contextual.
It's the present one. It's the present thing that happened, and you are even forgetting to even draw the link between what is happening within the party. They tell you if they want to tell you the truth.
Okay, let's
to you.
All right.
At that event, even let me tell you, your correspondent was there now. Your correspondent was at that scene, and so many reporters were there.
All right, Patrick, let's go back to Idris. Let's go back to Idris so that
Owe fashion was very evident.
Okay, now let's go back to Idris so that he can provide context to your own position. Idris, are you still there with us?
Yes.
Okay, please. You have heard the Chief Press Secretary, Patrick Bojele, to the governor, and he has said a lot. Do you have any reactions to make on that before we move?
I am genuinely surprised that he's the Chief Press Secretary now. I didn't know. They've changed Chief Press Secretary a number of times. So congratulations, my elder brother Patrick. But there are a few things we need to correct. I think you stop
being sarcastic and talk seriously, because this is not.
No, Patrick. He just congratulated you. He said he wasn't aware that.
We just saw it. That is being sarcastic in introduction.
Well, that's your own definition, okay, but I don't see it in that
way. I withdraw the congratulations. So let me address some of the issues that you have raised.
Thank you. So go
you suggested that there was a contradiction in my earlier statement, but you failed to woefully to point out the contradiction. And then you went on to say that the ADC is in disarray without providing any evidence to support your claim. Just to clarify, the two individuals you had mentioned that were the so-called differing parties in the ADC were both present at the event where this malicious attack
where they were seated.
Excuse me, Patrick.
Were you
Patrick,
there?
he has the mic. Patrick, excuse me, Patrick.
Gentlemen, you know how they start.
Excuse me, Dr. Bojele. Please, you had your time. You had your time. He never interjected.
I just
please, you had your time. He never interjected. Allow him to have his time.
And I can tell you for sure that the two persons you met having a disagreement were both present at the event where this malicious attack and damages are taking place. He asked me to withdraw my statement that the governor is surrounded by unintelligent persons. I think that is the single biggest weakness of the government, of this present government, the Okpebholo-led administration. There are very unintelligent people surrounding the governor who are misleading him to believe that you can untwist opposition in a democracy, that you can intimidate people to submit to you, that you can manufacture 2.5 million imaginary votes, even when the total number of voters registered in Edo State as at the last presidential election is just 2,250,000. So these are the individuals that are communicating with the people at top. And let me make this very clear. I don't know how when the Chief Press Secretary joined the government, but you must be aware that what some of us did to see the back of Obaseki in Edo State, none of you within the government has been able to replicate it. And you must give us and show us some respect. And we deserve and we have the right to play opposition in this state, even when we have not. In fact, it needs to be mentioned that the opposition, some of us who are in the obedient movement in Edo State, have never attacked this government, have never spoken against this government, has never said anything
Zachary,
It has been this government
Zachary, can we stay within, Zachary, can we stay within, excuse me, Zachary, can we stay within the conversation, please? Let's not expand
within the conversation. He that Peter Obi will be needing, excuse me,
Mr. Chukuma.
mentioned that Peter Obi will be needing.
Mr. Chukuma.
He mentioned that Peter Obi will be needing.
Yes, Patrick, I can hear you. Let him land on his thought, please. You have your time.
If these uncouth words are not withdrawn, I think we have no business talking the reality, because this distraction from using words.
Patrick. In all honesty,
Mr. Patrick, you are a journalist. Can you kindly point out the uncouth words used so far?
I have not used any uncouth words.
Gentlemen,
I won't go to that level.
Okay. All right. We'll go for a short break now. And when we return, we'll continue with the conversation. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
All right, welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. This is Political Lens. We are having a conversation about what happened yesterday in Edo State, and we've been joined, we have in our Edo outstation, Dr. Patrick Akere Ebojele, who is the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State. And virtually, we're also joined by Zachary Idris, who is an Obian member and someone who witnessed what happened yesterday. At some point, tempers fled. Gentlemen, I would like for us, I advise that we stay within the limits of responsible conversation, please. And Patrick, I'd like to come to you, but before I give you the floor, I'd like for you to say that I'm the moderator here. If anybody goes out of limits, I'll be the person to call the person. I'll be the one to call the person to order. I'm not sure, in all honesty, that Idris has insulted your person. So he extended our congratulations. You rejected it, and he withdrew it. Please, let's stay within limits of responsibility.
Congratulations is accepted.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, let's go back to it. I want you to still provide a context, a context within the idea that according to Idris, and like I said, the two gladiators, when you frame what happened yesterday as a product of the disagreement, the internal wranglings within the ADC, and the hoodlums met on the scene, the two gladiators, people in the opposing camps, were seated at that table. So if by adventure one of them had invited the hoodlums, common sense, conventional wisdom dictates that the person wouldn't be there so that he wouldn't be caught in harm's way. But both of them were there. So how do you explain all of that? Do you still, having this in mind, do you still frame it as a product of internal wranglings within the ADC?
Sorry about what happened a while ago.
No, it's fine. Let's move on.
And I gladly accept the congratulations from my brother, Zachary.
Thank you.
We are the same Edo. We all want the better good for Edo. So now why we are saying that it's as a result of eternal crisis, why we are saying that from our end, is because we have no business with the ADC as a party. Are you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever they are doing is supposed to be their business. It's only becoming a business to us because somebody is saying we play the part. And I think seriously that except investigation, a thorough investigation is carried out, or an independent investigation, however it is going to be, is carried out by the necessary agencies, and in this case, the security agencies, to uncover what actually transpired. And whoever has been found to perpetrate this act or is involved should be brought to book. Also saying that he doesn't want a violent Edo State. He doesn't want that everybody, every political party or person, they are free to join parties of your choice. He cannot gag anybody. He didn't say he came in. The party came to government as opposition. So why will he be stopping opposition from whatever? And so all he's saying is that when you mention about 2.5 million votes added to all of this narration, is that I'm going to get this vote from what I am doing for the good people of Edo State by way of infrastructural development. That is why you are going to attract this vote. It's not manipulation. Because once people see the good you are doing, you are winning them into your heart. And I see winning people, Edo people to their heart by this massive investment in education, infrastructure, agri, and natural resources and health. And they are so evident. So nobody can claim, as we speak now, that the governor has not done all of this. And this is going to translate into that 2.5 million votes for our own thinking.
All right. All right.
Yes.
All right, Patrick. That's good. Before we get into, there's something I would like for us to talk about briefly. But before we get into all of that, I would like for Idris to respond finally on the issue of what happened yesterday. At this moment, are you aware, Idris, if the ADC has made a formal report to the police or to the state security service?
I always like to mention, I don't go above my pay grade. I'm not in the leadership of the party, but I am sure, because police authorities had visited us yesterday, I am sure that some of these investigations are going on, and I will not speak on an ongoing investigation. But it's important I mention, because you cut short my time when we had the altercation. First of all, Patrick is an elder brother. I'm an Edo man. I am known to be a very respectful Edo man, but in this state, we must learn to respect ourselves. The lackeys of the governor, I'm not talking about him now. There are people within this government who speak to opposition as if opposition are a leprous finger that must be cut off. It will not be allowed to fester. And the kind of thinking that is going on within this, I want to mention, like I said earlier, the work, the soft power some of us brought to bear to see the previous administration leave this state is what this present administration is benefiting today. I am not putting water in my mouth to say it. And they should show that respect and allow us do our thing and let us run our election.
Okay, all right. Well noted.
I need to also mention this. It's important because you almost cut my time. He mentioned that we need clearance to come to Edo State. The Constitution of Nigeria has not enforced it on any citizen to seek clearance from any government to visit any part of Nigeria. If he decides to do it, it's a matter of whether he likes it or not. It cannot be enforced on him. And then finally, I need to mention that Edo State government cannot be more Catholic than the Pope. As of today, APC has almost 31 governors. Why is it that it's only Edo that we are seeing people trying to prove to the president that they love the president more than his wife, First Lady Tinubu? How is that even possible? Why is it that people want to be overzealous and show that they are more APC than even APC itself? Why? What is the thinking behind some of this action? Did they imagine that if something had happened to Peter Obi yesterday at that event, which I was present and I saw firsthand what happened? In fact, that I am here talking to you is a miracle. If something had happened to even me as an Edo man, will Okpebolo be comfortable sitting in the office knowing that an Edo citizen had been involved because of people are overzealous?
Patrick has again accepted your congratulations, and I hope that you take that in good faith. Now, you were in Abuja sometime 2 weeks ago or thereabout, and we spoke at that time. During that period, the Abuja area council elections was going on. Let me ask you, before I even ask you this question, you worked with Olumide Akpata in 2024. Did you move to the ADC?
Yes, I did. I was chairman of the ADC.
So you're a member of the ADC now?
I am not a registered member of the ADC. We are on our journey to that.
Okay, but clearly you belong to the opposition.
Clearly I support the opposition.
Okay,
yes.
We were in Abuja during the campaigns and all of that. And did the result of the election surprise you? Did it come to you as a surprise, 6 area
There's nothing.
council seats.
There
5
is
APC, 1 to PDP, none to ADC, none to Labour Party, none to SDP. Did it surprise you?
there is nothing surprising about the Abuja council election, and I must tell you why.
Okay.
The primary reason I was in Abuja, and you were very aware of it, was to protest that we must have mandatory electronic transmission of results so that we can deepen our democracy and have a democracy that we can be proud of as Nigerians. Until that is achieved, all the elections that are conducted is just electoral activity to show that there is democracy in Nigeria. There cannot be freeness and fairness in it. And you must also extend that argument further. You have seen several. I can challenge you now. Go on Beavers and see some of the results uploaded into the IREF in the election conducted in Abuja, and see the level of mutilation for people who do not have respect for democracy. I have said it before. The democracy, by its classical definition, is government of people, by people, for the people. And these people are attempting to remove the people from democracy. And the day you successfully remove the people from a democracy, you can call it anything else but a democracy. You are then pushing people to seek other alternatives, because those who are making peaceful changes impossible are calling for violent changes. And it is not us who are in the opposition asking you to do the right thing that is calling for it. Even the Tinubu of today was an opposition member. The Adewole of today was an opposition member.
Okay.
I was once even in their own party. So if I decide to come to this place, does it mean that my blood has turned to green? Is it not still red?
Okay.
So these people should have respect for this democracy. The government of today will leave power tomorrow. I need to mention this. There was a time in this Edo State in the last election when this present governor, as then APC candidate, was violently attacked at the airport. I seated here, joined my voices with even other obedience across the country to condemn it, because we lost an innocent police officer. Today, under this government, a government that is purportedly fighting cultism, people are using automatic weapons to go to the homes of opposition. These guys need to do a soul searching. This is not a TV conversation. It's what you do in your bedroom when you have gone back home. And I'm sending this message to them. Go back home and do a soul searching. Let's build this state. We don't have any other one.
All right. Thank you very much, Zekiri. I appreciate your time here. Now, let's go back to Dr. Ebojile, who joined us from our Benin After Show. Dr. Patrick, I'm sure you'll be very happy that the APC took away 5 council seats in the 6 area council seats. What's your reaction to that? Is that some kind of pass mark for the APC? What's your reaction? Hello, Patrick, can you hear me?
Okay, I said I congratulate the party, and the party at the national level has also made their input as to that election. Okay. I was in FCT, and I'm based in Benin City here, so well, it's a good one for the party.
It's a good one for the party, but a lot of people are saying that the election was not free and fair, that it wasn't credible, mutilated from ECHA, and the fact that Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, had to shut down Abuja and open the space for only himself to go from one polling unit to the other, to shake hands with officers of the umpire. So how does that translate to credible elections? Does that still make you happy?
The only thing I will say is a word of advice to all of us as Nigerians, particularly to political to parties that loses in an election, because it is becoming typical of most politicians. When they lose an election, they tell you the election was fraudulent. But they win an election, it is free and fair. Even when they go to court, once you get judged, it says, the judiciary is corrupt. But when they get justice, they'll say, the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. But my word of advice to all of us as Nigerians, we own Nigeria, Nigeria owns us. Our blood is Nigeria. We must begin to respect our various institutions. When I say institution, I mean all arms of governance, all tiers of governance, all federal institutions that have to do with promoting peace, security, well-being for our people.
Okay.
We must also give respect to the office of the president, give respect to that of the governors, the senators, and all of that. If we don't, we are taking values away from it. There's no society that, yes, so that is...
Okay, thank you very much. But I also do know that in Africa, our elders tell us that respect is earned and not deserved. So if people are deserving of respect, they should earn it. They don't just expect it to come on a platter of gold. They should work for that respect.
Yes, and very many of them have it.
All right, I thank you, both of you gentlemen, for your presence on my show. This will be a good place to draw anchor on the show. I will be speaking with Dr. Patrick Akere Ebojele, Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Edo State, Monday Ogbobolo. Thank you very much, Patrick, for your presence on my show. Okay, we also had Mr. Zachary Idris, who is an obedient movement and one that witnessed what happened yesterday firsthand. Gentlemen, I appreciate your presence on my show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. And I hope that we can do this some other time. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, the bus manager, sound engineer, and the guest manager, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Nena Ndemduto. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning on the morning show. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of your evening.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. From missing funds to policy failures, we ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m.,